So setting goals is easy, right? Anybody can set a goal. I'm going to run a marathon. No, I'm not. That's terrible. So goal keeping, that's the real challenge. And I'm going to go over our goal keeping system here at the Gluch Group and how we keep our enterprise on track. So my name is John Gluch. I'm the team leader of the Gluch Group. And I've got a team in California and San Diego, and then one in Phoenix. And we'll do about 130 million in sales this year. I'm recording this in 2021. So a lot of home sales. And this is how we keep the enterprise on track. And I am recording this for my internal team, but I figured, you know what, let me do it in a format that could benefit everybody. So I can post it on my website. And this really, hopefully will give you, whether you're a solo agent or you're an agent on my team just coming on board, or a new team member who's not an agent, or maybe you could hand this as a team leader to your new administrator who you just hired, or your new transaction coordinator, and you guys could work on this together. But this is a simple system that can be applied to every job role and is applied to every job role at the Gluch Group and on your team as well. So hopefully this helps you to have some direction. This is the job description for everybody on our team. There is no other job description. This is how it works, right? We quantify it. We want to numerically assess how we're doing on a regular basis, not just write out some job description and then forget about it. So here's what that looks like. At the beginning here, this is, again, we call them scorecards because that's what it is. It's going to get scored once a quarter. And the score keep is right here. 7 is good as expected. Like that's in for us. Good is good, man. If you're doing good on our team, you're doing pretty good. Anything higher is exceptional. Lower needs work, right? And who's going to do the scoring here? Well, you are. You as the team member are going to start by scoring yourself. And so it's self-reflection, looking back over the last quarter and go, man, how'd I do in that particular category? And I'm going to walk through all the categories so they all make sense. So it starts out with self-reflection, and then on the Gluch Group, you'll fill it out yourself. You'll fill in scores for all these categories, and then you'll have a one-on-one meeting, half-hour meeting with your supervisor, someone in leadership, who will review those scores as well and go, yeah, we're on the same page. You know, this all makes sense. Or we'll go, no, you put a 9 here and I'd give you a 3. We probably ought to talk about that. So that's the way we do it on our team. And so I'm going to walk you through how you would go and score yourself every single quarter. And it starts off with a mission. Everyone's got a different mission. This is the sales agent mission. Now, all the sales agents have the same mission, and that is to help our clients find home by assisting them in every way. Their home buying selling process with the highest degree of service, et cetera. So if you're a sales agent, that's your mission. If you're another member of the team, then when you come on board, we will provide you with a mission or work with you to create one if we don't have one for your role yet. But it's really the spirit behind what you're doing. And this is like the overall grade, right? This is the big picture. How'd you do? 1 to 10, how'd you do? And I'm going to pretend that this is being filled out, that this is my scorecard and I'm a sales agent and I just finished up quarter 3. And I'm headed into quarter 4, right? Or excuse me, I've just finished up quarter 4 and I'm about to start next year. That's what I'm pretending, right? So I was here last quarter, I was here third quarter, and I got a 7. That's what I scored myself. And so now I'm coming into quarter 4 and I got to score myself for quarter 4. How I do? Well, okay, I think I did a lot better than last quarter, so I'm going to score myself an 8. I really crushed it, man. I did a great job. I'm happy with my performance, so I'm going to give myself an 8, okay? Now I'm going to go down to the next part, which is our skills. So these are the skills required, and these are vary by job. Again, all the salespeople are going to be the same, although these can be modified. The mission, if you're a salesperson, cannot be modified. That's the mission. The skills can be. If there's certain skills you want to focus on differently, that's fine. These are the ones that we start off with. We think are the most important, but you can always add one if you want. You can just right click here, insert a row below, and that'll give you another one, and you can just label it and off you go. Or you can, if you go, man, 6 is too many, you could always delete one, and that's how you do that. But I like these. I think these are a good starting points for salespeople. If you're a administrator, then you're going to have a different set of skills here, right? This is not going to make any sense for you. So again, your supervisor will help you create these skill sets and fill these in if you haven't already done it, or if they haven't already done it for you. So leadership, right? We're all leaders. We're all leading other people on the team. We're leading our family, friends, leading ourselves. And so I think that's a great skill to always be working on. So how did you do in terms of leadership? Maybe I didn't do as good this quarter, so I'm going to put a 6. Now, let's say these had already been filled in, like let's say I've been here for a year plus and I had all these scores in here. And, now I was going into my next quarter. And quarter 4 was, I just finished quarter 4, but it was already filled in from quarter 4 last year. No problem, right? We're all smart people. We don't need to make a whole brand new scorecard. We could just start over, erase that, and say, well, maybe I got an 8 this quarter, right? So there we go. We're going to switch that, and that's our new score. Okay, buyer meeting conversion rate. Like how good are you at when you sit down with a buyer face to face, sharing the benefits of working with you and having a great outcome from that buyer meeting. That's a really important sales process to be good at, to have a good skill set for. Property inquiry, buyer meetings. So this would be like Zillow leads, Facebook or Realtor.com leads, Facebook leads, that kind of thing, where someone wants to go see 123 your Main Street, you meet them at the house, and at that point you convince them that they should work with you, or whether it's writing an offer on that house or some other house. How good are you at converting those people? Phone scripts. How good are you on the phone if you're answering the phone? Most salespeople have some level of phone scripts they're following. How well are you doing there? Listing appointments. How well did you do listing appointments? And even if you're not doing any listing appointments, have you studied it all? Could you do one tomorrow if one got pulled up? If not, it's probably not a 7. It's probably a 5, and maybe something you got to focus on. That way, when one pops up tomorrow, you know what to do, right? You just score yourself there. Open house conversion. So another separate skill set. How good are you going out, setting an open house and getting a buyer out of it? And maybe you're not doing open houses. You're like, no, I'm too busy with whatever. I got other stuff. Okay, you could just delete. Again, you just right click and delete that. Key attributes. Okay, these are Gluch Group specific, but I think every company should have these. The core values for us are honor, hope, and excellence. And then we have the rest of these 9 values that are all important to us. So we have a link out to these explained. Let me see if it's going to open. Yeah, there we go. And it's right here on YouTube. And these are all of our attributes. There's our channel, our playlist with all the attributes. So you can watch our attributes and rank yourself on how those went for you. So this is important to us because you may be selling houses like crazy, but you're a real jerk. You're not a team player. You don't really honor people. You're not empathetic. You're negative and pessimistic instead of positive and fun. Like, that's not going to work, man. Like you can't be a brilliant jerk on our team. That's not going to work. So you have to clarify that if you're on another team or if you're or on your own, is like, what are my attributes? What are my core values? If you're at the Gluch Group, these are yours. Is how well did I do on these things? Man, I really crushed it. I was like super empathetic, but man, I was a little bummer to be around this quarter. So I'm going to make myself a 6, whatever it is, 5, 6, 4, you just go down and you mark yourself and off you go. Right. So you fill those in, all those attributes are there. I recommend once a quarter reviewing those videos. I spent a lot of time on really helping clarify what I mean by these words. These are just words, but do you really know what they mean? Do you really think thoughtfully about how you apply those? Okay. Next, responsibilities. So this is stuff that you're responsible for. Of course, you got to sell houses, but above and beyond that, there's some stuff we expect you to do around here. We want you to come to the meetings. We want you to be available for appointments. When Zillow calls or when the ISAs call or when we, got a buyer or seller for you to work with, were you available? Were you helping other agents when it didn't benefit you? You're just being a pal. You were showing houses because someone was out of town or whatever. Maybe somebody needed help writing a contract. I know some people on our team were so helpful. They should be getting, like Tyler on our team should get a 10 with helping other OSAs. That guy's helping people all the time, right? So maybe some other people are like, I'm not doing as good a job as I could. Okay. Proactively finding homes for buyers. This is a big one. Like, are you really working to find off-market properties, expireds, FSBOs, stuff that Zillow bought that hasn't sold yet, or Open Door? We have all these ways on our team to find these houses. Are you doing a good job trying to track down homes for buyers? Maybe homes outside their area. An area that's similar that they might like. You want to go show them those homes. Like, are you being proactive? Rapid response rate. People, really important that you respond quickly to people. Encouraging your virtual assistants. All the people on our team have a virtual assistant that's helping you out. How are you doing encouraging them, reviewing them regularly, letting them know how they're doing? You should be reviewing your virtual assistant every single week. Is that happening? If not, let me know. I can get that system set up for you. Make sure we get that going. Like everybody thrives. We all thrive as human beings on feedback. We got all these people thousands of miles away who are critical to our team function, who need to hear from you and need to be told they're doing a great job, just like you do, just like I do. And then WTF, whatever the function comes up, man. There's no such thing as that's not my job on the Gluch Group. Like, somebody's got to sharpen the pencils, sweep the floors. It's all got to happen. And nobody gets to say that's not my job. If stuff comes up, hey, we need this thing to happen. We need that thing moved. We need that thing to go over there. Like, were you great at being available to help with those kind of things? And then help train brand new people. That's going to be a big part of, we'll bring these new people on. They need help, need a lot of help. So were you willing to do that? Even if you weren't their mentor, even if you weren't making any money because of it, you were helping out because it was important, because they are new. And you remember what it was like to be new. Back to our core value of empathy. You remember what that was like. Okay. Next one. Vital goals. Now here's where you've got some flexibility. I would keep selling X houses. I think that should be every quarter. You set some goal. And so let's say I'm going to pretend this was 6 houses. And here I am, quarter 4, and I sold 5. Well, that's not so good, right? That's maybe a 5 or a 6. Okay. And how do you know? On our team, we use Sisu. So here is one of our team members' Sisu dashboard, and you could see real quick, how are you doing compared to your goals? And you can set the time frames for the last quarter. You can kind of see how you're doing, and you should know, I mean, you should have filled in last quarter, like here, sell 6 houses. And so one of the ways I like to do this, so like, let's say I was coming in, if I was like, my example here has been quarter 4, right? I just finished quarter 4 for 2021, and I'm filling this thing out at the end of quarter 4. Well, then what I would do is I'd go, okay, I'd rate myself. I'd say, all right, well, I got a 5 there because I didn't sell 6 houses. I sold 5 houses. And then I would revise my goal if I wanted to. Let's say, I think I can actually do better. I think I can go to 7 houses. So I'm going to set 7 houses as my goal. And then I'm going to change this to quarter 1 for 2022 because that's the quarter I'm going into. And now I'm all up to date, right? I recognize, man, I undershot my goal. And then I reset my goal appropriately to 7 houses, whatever I want it to be for next quarter, and I adjust this. So these 2 things are going to need to be adjusted here. And then same thing with our brokerage, EXP is amazing. They'll actually pay you as an agent. If you introduce someone to the company, to the brokerage, they sign up and they like it, then you actually make some money. That's pretty cool. So that might be worth spending a little bit of time on, and you can make that your goal, right? So let's say you had said, I want to get 3 people over to EXP, or introduce 3 people we have these great weekly webinars you can do. And you can invite people to those. And so I want to get 3 people to the webinars, or to the masterminds this quarter. And let's say you got 4. So you're like, okay, great. I score myself an 8 and I got 4. So I'm going to actually make this bigger. I'm going to revise this to like 5, shoot that up a little bit bigger. And here's what I would say with the goals. Goals are and I kind of have down here some examples. These are lagging indicators. This kind of explains this goal section here. What this random 7's doing. But these are lagging indicators. This is like the fruit of the work you're doing. And so what you always want to include is home sales, as I mentioned here. But here's some ideas for other goals. What I would do, first of all, is I would start with your Sisu metrics. So on the Gluch Group, we use this Sisu metrics for our challenges. And these activities are what I would really propose you think through in terms of what you're going to put for your vital goals and your vital improvements. So vital goals are like the fruit, the end goal, the end product. So I've got several examples here. EXP recruits attending the mastermind, team reviews, getting Google reviews, that kind of thing, getting people added to the database. So increasing your sphere of influence. And I've got a link here to my blog post I did about how to go get more people to your database. So tips on how to do that. Partner closings, so getting deals to our lender or title company, that kind of thing, right? So I would start with those. I think that's going to be your best goals. I wouldn't veer too far outside of what's in Sisu. I mean, if you have something weird one-off goal you want to put in here, that's fine. But generally speaking, your top goals, and it should only be 3 or 4, should be goals that are part of our Sisu deal, right? So home sales is going to be one of them, and then 3 other ones that are the most important to you this quarter for your goals, and whatever particular category you want to focus on. All right, now vital priorities is kind of the input, the work you're gonna do to get the fruit of your goals. Like the goals are accomplished because you focused on something. So you might want to focus on nailing the buyer presentation. So that would be something like, I would probably qualify that as maybe 3 hours per week, a study, right? Maybe you're shadowing, maybe you're watching training, whatever it is. You pick something you're going to focus on. And I've got some examples down here of vital priorities. So skills you want to master. So you could set a specific goal like we have on Sisu here. Our hours sharpening the axe. So people can go in here and input every day how many hours they spent learning and growing and improving. And you would focus specifically on, like if you're trying to do the buyer presentation, you might say, I'm going to do 3 hours a week. So that's going to be your vital priority. So basically, what am I focusing on this quarter that's going to help me get to my goals? And it might be offering homes to all of your buyers weekly, right? That might be a good one, to be, more proactive. So you've got that. You've got hours prospected. Just some ideas here, right? Open and close up shop twice a day, social media posts, X number of open houses. What are you going to focus on? What priorities are going to be the most important to you this quarter? And the vital improvements are, stuff that's a little more like loosey-goosey. Like, I want to be a better team player. I want to be better at problem solving. I want to be more thankful, that kind of stuff. Stuff that needs to be improved, that you really, up here in the attributes, you feel like, I could have done a little better here, or maybe in a skill. And so that's some stuff you could focus on. So it could be feedback, whatever feedback you got from leadership of something you could have worked on a little bit better. So you might want to work on like a gratitude journal. Maybe you were unproductive. You didn't even get close to your goals. So you got to get better at time blocking. Maybe there's a course you're going to take. You're going to go through one of Darren Hardy's courses, Insane Productivity or something like that. We always, at the Gluch Group, are open to helping you pay for those great programs because they're so fantastic. I'm never going to miss a team meeting. I'm going to shadow X showings with the best agent on the team. I'm going to encourage my VA because I realized, I didn't really do a good job of that. So I'm going to encourage my VA, my virtual assistant, thoughtfully once a week, right? So these are kind of the more loosey-goosey things that, attitude type stuff that you can improve here. And so that's what you're going to do. You're going to go, you fill all those in for quarter 4. I'll fix some of these formatting issues here. And then you will be good to go. Once you've got those done, you will, somebody on the team will let you know, hey, when you're meeting with whoever it is you're meeting with, and we'll just review that together. And it's a quick meeting. And really what we're looking at is like, hey, we're not real like micromanaging around here. We just want you to be aware of how you're doing. And if there's something that you say that's way off what we think, we want to have that conversation. But in general, these come out pretty in line with, what we do. And here's the thing. It's mostly about spending the time to go, dang, didn't sell 7 houses. What am I going to do about that? What can I focus on? And you might need help. You might go, dude, I don't know what my priority should be. Like, can you help me? Yes, absolutely. Reach out to me. Reach out to someone on the team who you admire, who's doing a good job, and go, what should my priorities be? I didn't even come close to my goal on this. What would you do if you were me, right? And what's great is Sisu does such a good job of showing you what, you just look at that dashboard, and I'll look at the team one here, but you just go, hey, did I get it or not? Did I hit my goals or not? Did I sell how many I was supposed to sell? And it all shows up in the numbers, right? Either you did it or you didn't. And you just put your scope on there of however long, the last quarter was and see how you did. So that is our system. And then here's kind of a bonus tip is I would take a look at this thing once a week. I'd make yourself a little reminder task to just pull this bad boy out once a week as a reminder to reset and refocus, because you get drawn down these rabbit trails of now we're like creating Facebook groups and we're going to come up with some new harebrained marketing campaign. And it's like, no, like focus on the fundamentals. And if you get really good at this stuff, then let me know and I can give you some more ideas, some proactive marketing ideas, some things that might actually be valuable to add. I've tried everything. I can tell you what to focus on, what not to focus on. So every once in a while, your vital priority might be some marketing initiative, farming or something like that. But let me help you with that. And let's make sure you got the fundamentals down before we get you, up on the ropes course. All right. Hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.